Sir, hello. Hello. Dr. Mari, sir, hello. You are able to hear me? Hello, sir. Am I audible to all the participants? Yeah, Mari, sir, hello.
Hello, Girish.
Yeah, sir. Now it is audible to you?
Yes, yes, now it is audible.
Sir, we'll start the session, sir. People will join because it's already 11:03.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll start the program, sir.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible now. It's clear.
Okay. I will share the screen. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. Very good morning to all the participants. We are very happy that you are cooperating with us and you have come back to the session. Now we'll start the session with this hands-on experience. I once again welcome you for this. So, I know AICTE sponsored online one-week short-term training program, which is organized by the Department of Civil Engineering, Sri Vishnu Engineering College of Women, Andhra Pradesh, Bhimavaram. Thank you, sir. You can go ahead with your session, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
Thank you, Dr. Girish, and thank you all the participant for your patience for waiting 1 hour. And Very good morning to everyone. And the today sessions we will discuss the further details what we have discussed on the yesterday. So we have started with the data entry and the data import, as well as we have started with a little bit the details of the descriptive statistic analysis. Okay. So the same things what we have discussed on yesterday, that will I will show very quickly. So first I'm opening the SPSS software. Normally you will get a welcome note. So that welcome dialog box you can close, then directly it will leads to your data entry window. So once you enter inside the data viewpoint, yesterday I have told that there's two possibilities of entering the data. One is manually you can enter, or else you can import the data. So that another simplest way is that you just copy paste your data from the Excel sheet. So example, so this is the Excel sheet data I have shared with everyone on the yesterday discussion. Okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 variables you have, and you just select all the variables in the Excel sheet, copy, then you can go to your SPSS, select the first variable, first cell, right click, paste. So you will directly get your variable. So this is the one options you can enter, or you can copy paste your data from the Excel sheet. So this is the one detail. Then the next data view will be there. So again, I'm quickly entering the data. So if you have the yesterday sheet, you just try to open directly. State will be the first one, gender, age, household size, qualification, working day, mode, e-bike shift. Okay, so this is the variable name we can enter. All the variables are numeric. The main thing is I told that the measures you have to change it. When it is coming to the measure, state is an nominal data, gender is an nominal data, age is a continuous variable, so it is a scaled data. Household also I assume that's a scaled data. Occupations I have a given UG, PG and all, so it is a nominal data. Working day it is a continuous data. Mode is nominal data, e by shift is a discrete 0 or 1, so that is considering as a nominal data. So this is the data measures we have assumed. And one more thing I told that you can give the values. So when it is coming to the discrete, you can give the value state. When it is coming to the 1, it is considering as a Tamil Nadu. 2, it is considering as a Andhra Pradesh. 3, it is considering as a Maharashtra. So then you can give add and click OK. So very quickly, I will give all the variables. 1 means male, 0 means female. So I'm just refreshing. So it is a kind of warm up. You just get the familiar with your data entry. Age is continuous. Qualification, 1 means UG, 2 means PG, 3 means PhD. Add OK. So when it is coming to the mode, 1 is car, 2 is Ola, Uber service, 3 is public transportation, bus, and click OK. The final one will be the 0. 0 means shift to e-bike. 1 means not shift to e-bike. Okay, now the data is ready. So dear participant, the data can be import from Excel sheet or copy paste, or else you can manually type your data. Once the data is ready, you just define your variable by clicking the variable view, or else you have one more option. So here data, define variables properties. You can click that, state you can transfer, click continue, and you will get the same options. Whatever you are seeing in the variable view, the same you will get it over here, that you can change it here. Okay, when it is coming to the descriptive statistics, as I told that we have the various options, but the most important option is analysis tab. Okay, the analysis, we have all the options like a descriptive analysis, correlation test, as well as your modeling aspect. So when it is coming to the modeling aspect, first you have to understand what is the existing data, how the existing data are playing each other. So to understand about the existing variable, I told that you have to perform the descriptive statistic analysis. And here you have the two options. One is descriptive option, another one will be the frequency options. But when it is coming to the descriptive, it is a constrained one and you have the very limited option. Example, if you are clicking the descriptive, if you want to study about the age, okay, you are clicking, double click, age will go to the right corner and you click the options. So these are the details you will get: mean, standard deviations, minimum, maximum, okay, standard error, variance, ranges. So only the limited options you will get when you are utilizing the descriptive options. But when you are going to the frequency, you will get a more options compared with the descriptive options. So instead of descriptive, if you are going for the frequencies, click the frequency, you will get in a dialog box. And example for age, if you are clicking the statistics, you will get a more than descriptive options like a mean, median, mode, sum, as well as you can define the percentage. So example, what is the value for the 50th percentile? What is the value for 98th percentile? So like that you can define. Example, when we are talking about the speed modeling and all, so initially you used to plot the cumulative graph of the speed profile, that kind of bell shape or the normal distributions we used to plot. And we used to consider four kind of the speed limit: 15th percentile, 50, okay, 85 and the 98 percentile. So with respect to the average, design and the upper limit and all, we used to define. To identify the 90th percentile speed, if you are clicking all this value, you will get what is the respective speed of that 98 percentile and the 50th percentile and all. So micro level analysis we can do when you are using the frequency statistic options. So here mean, you can click median, mode and all, and whatever options you want, you can click it and click continue. So next will be the chart. If you are clicking chart, yesterday we have seen various kind of charts are there: bar chart, pie chart, histograms and all. So depending upon the your requirement, you can choose whatever the chart you want to select it. Example, here I'm choosing the histograms or bar chart was whatever with the normal curve. So if you want to show with the normal curve, you can click normal curve. And the important thing is display frequency table. So when it is coming to the content discrete variable, example gender, male, female, if you are dividing the male female, what is the male ratio, what is the female ratio, if you want to study about that, then you have to, main important thing is display frequency table. So those things and all you can analyze using the frequency statistic option. Now I transfer all the data left side to the right side, and I have given the required statistics here. I click continue. Chart, I'm asking histograms with a normal curve, and I'm clicking OK. And directly it leads to your output table. So this is the output table. Yesterday we have discussed. Also, I told that we will get all the statistics here with respect to the variable. Age, gender, state will be there. Mean, median, mode, standard deviations, everything will be there. So this is the one way we can interpret your statistics. And the important thing I told that descriptive variables will show the frequency. Example, male is 2, female data is 2 data, male data is 6, and it is showing the missing data. So one data is missing. So without data, one data error is there. So that data we have to identify and we have to rectify that. So let's see how we are doing actually. So example, so this is the gender. So here only 9 data is there. So that's what we can able to see where the data is missing. The second cell, the data is missing. But still, if you have the huge set of the data, in that particular case, what you can do, you can select this particular column, okay, and you can go to the data and short variable. short variable with respect to the ascending order or the descending order. You can select the values ascending order. Okay. Sorry, that is the variable actually. So in our case, gender is here. As I told that the gender one cell value is missing, so here we used to refer cell as a cases. Okay, so you can select your gender and you can go to the data and sort by cases, which is nothing but sort by your cell. So here the gender data one variable is missing. You can transfer your gender parameter left side to the right side. Okay, and you can give the ascending or the descending order and you can give okay. So it leads to your output table. Then you can go to your data entry. So in the ascending order, it will leads to first cell as the empty cell or the missing cell. So from there you try to understand which cell the data is missing. So here as I'm repeating that the 9 data it is there, that is the reasons we can able to see which the cell is missing. But when it is coming to the 1000 data, 500 data and all, if the cell value is missing in the third 300 cell, so we not able to observe which data exactly it is missing. In that particular time, what we can do, you select that particular column or the particular variable and you can go to the data. In the data, sort by cases options will be there. You can click and it will show this kind of the particular dialog box, and the gender cell is missing. So you transfer your gender left to right corner and give the ascending or the descending order and you can click OK. So if you are clicking the OK and the first cell it is showing that empty one. So you just enter any data. So here I can assume that I am considering as a male. So I entering as a 1 as the variable. So this is the one way we can identifying the missing cell or the missing cases in your data, and using the sort options, you just sort your data ascending or the descending order and you try to identify which particular cell is missing and what particular data we have to re-enter again manually. So those kind of the data verifications and the data corrections you have to perform before going for the any further analysis. Okay. So this is the one way how we can do the, or we can use the better data for the analysis. That is the one thing. Now we can explore options we try to explore. So go to the descriptive statistics and click the explore options. So in the explore options, you are trying to identify the what we can say, the relations between the two variables, how it is playing each other. So example here, I'm going to study about the variable e-bike shifting with gender behavior, how it is going and all. So if you're giving the OK, so you will get an output actually. So in the example, so e-bike shift, okay, female responded 2, male responded 7. With respect to the e-bike, what is the all the descriptive statistics for the female? Because only 2 females are responded for this particular survey. So that is the reasons we are not getting the variations. Okay. But when it is coming to the male, nearly 7 people responded. With respect to the 7 people, what is the mean, median, variance, standard deviations, minimum, maximum? So all the frequencies, descriptive statistic you can get with respect to only male. Okay. So this is the one level micro analysis. When we are using the frequency options, it will show only with respect to the gender. It show only with respect to the age or the qualifications. But when you want to study about particular independent variable with respect to the given dependent variable, you can use the in the analysis, you can go and use the explore options. In the explore options, you can if you're going to study about the behavior of the electric bike shifting with respect to the gender, how it is varying in the micro level, what about the female and what about the male. So this kind of the studies we can use using this particular explore options. Okay. So dear participant, if you want to study about the relations with the, or the descriptive statistics with respect to the dependent variable with respect to the independent variable, in the independent variable selected x1 in case if has a sub classifications. Example, yeah, gender, it is having a two classifications, male and the female. With respect to the two sub classifications, how the descriptive statistics and all varies. If you want to capture that particular descriptive variations, then you can use for the explore options. Okay. So I hope everybody is getting the output. So go to the descriptive participant, click explore. You will get this kind of the dialog box. In the dialog box, you can view the dependent list. Basically, your dependent variable is EB shift, electric bike shift, or the random variable you can give. Then the factor list, you have to give any descriptive data. Okay, it might be the scale, it might be ranked or ordered data. So whatever the data you want to study in the micro level, that factors you can shift to the right corner and you can click OK. So here also statistic options are there in case if you want to perform the outlier test. So you can click this outliers. So continue. At the same time, if you want to plot for the histogram as well as the descript, what we can say outlier test diagram and all, you can steam and leaf is there. So steam leaf diagram you can use as well as the histogram you can use. Normality plot also will be there. If it is required for your study, you just click that one and click continue. Okay. So all the participants, hope you have entered all the variables in the explore. You have shifted your independent and dependent data, and whatever the output you want to see, you just select from the statistics as well as the plot. Okay, as well as the diagram, whatever you want to show, you just click here. Okay, so give continue, and if you are giving the OK, and you will get the output. As I told that with your dependent variable is e-bike shifting and your independent variable is gender. So when it is coming to the gender, okay, female and male is there. With respect to the female and the male, how all the descriptive things and all vary, that you can able to explore here. So you got the output, right? So once you got the output, we have given the options for the normality test. So basically we have to check our data is following which particular distribution. So initially we used to check with the normal distribution. Okay, when we are assuming the normal distributions, Ks value plays the major role, as well as SW value also we can interpret. So basically we used to refer with respect to the Ks value. So from the SPSS analysis directly you will get a Ks value, and with respect to the significant value, so significant value we can assume that if it is confidence level 95% or the 99%, whether it is a confidence level is satisfying or it is satisfying the null hypothesis or not, we can check with respect to this particular outcome. So as I told that if you are explored already the Ks value, and if you are very good and basics about the hypothesis test. Based on that, you conclude that whether your data is following the normal distributions or not. So that kind of the interpretations you can make it from your normality test. Also, we have given the histogram. From the histogram, actually, this is a diagram we have discussed on the yesterday. Now, this is the outcome we got with respect to the outlier test. Okay, so the female and the male outlier. Okay, the outlier test, the 5 it is showing, right? This 5 is indicating that one variable is deviated from the given boundary actually. So basically, example, your data range is 1 to 10. In case you have a collected data and you have entered instead of 10 100 you have entered. Okay, in that particular situations we don't know what is that exceed limit of that variable. Okay, if the 1000 data is there, one data is what we can say unobserved or the unrelated data. So how to identify that data and eliminate that data from your particular analysis? So that is the time the outlier sample test plays the major role, because that one sample if you are including in your model, definitely your model R squared value and the error values and all it will be high. Okay, it leads to the it leads to the effect on your accuracy of that particular model. So that is the reasons all the expect every time they used to tell that before going for the modeling aspect, you have to do the proper data cleaning process. So the data cleaning process is nothing but arranging your data, giving the coding for perfect coding for all your data, and you assume your data is continuous data or the discrete data. So those kind of the stuff you have to do it. Some missing value will be there. The previously we have discussed about the missing cell. So if the data is missing, how to enter that correct data in the missing cell. So that is also considering as a data cleaning process. Once the data cleaning is over, second to identify the outlier test. So the outlier test is nothing but you have the boundary of system. If it is going beyond that particular limit, that data is should be eliminated from the further analysis. Okay, so it might be eliminated data. It might if it is not fall under that particular constraint or the limitations, or if you assume the data is following the normal distributions, whichever the data is falling beyond the 95th percentile. Example, if you are considering the 95 percentile, the data should fall plus or minus 1.956. If it is going beyond that particular limit, that data should be eliminated for that analysis for providing the better accuracy of your result. So in this particular case, when we are studying about the male and the female, so the simple plot is indicating that 5. Okay, so the 5 is showing that what we can say outlier sample. So when it is coming to the gender, okay, so gender 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 5 is indicating as a 1, but still the 1 is giving us a better predictions. It is a male only, but still the 5th value is showing that error. Okay, so this is the initial interpretations. It is showing as a 5th as an outlier sample, but when it is coming to the your data set, the 1 is it is considering as a valid, but when it is coming to the 1 with respect to the your mode shift, so it is leads to the outlier sample. But the main reason is, so all the 1 is considering as a dependent variable 1, but this only one particular variable is it is showing as a 0. So that is the reasons it is getting as a reflection as a 5 as considering as a outlier value. But this data should not be eliminated from your data. Okay, so this is the reasons it happened due to the dependency upon the this particular two variables. So that is the reasons it is indicating that particular sample as a deviated from your limit. So now the question is, then what is the exact procedure for performing the outlier test and identifying the particular outlier sample and eliminating from your data? So here now we can move to the second step of the today presentation. So the identifying the outlier sample and eliminating from your data. So the best option is go to the graph. So participant, next we are moving for the analyzing and identifying of the outlier sample. At the same time, I'm going to explain how to plot the different kind of the graph for your particular data. So this is the two things we are going to discuss. Initially, to identify the outlier sample, we went and we performed with respect to the explore options. But in that explore options, we have given the dependent data. With respect to the dependent data, the sample is shown the variations, but the variation is showing that independent dependency with respect to the dependent variable. So that is the reasons we are not eliminating that particular data. But to check the accurate outlier data, we have to do one more step analysis that is available in the chart builder options. That is the easiest way to identify the outlier sample. So to explain that outlier sample testing, so I will explore with respect to the other chart plot options also, whichever available in the SPSS, which ultimately save our time of the demonstration. So go to the graph and click the chart builder options and it will show this kind of the dialog box. The dialog box you can give directly OK. If you don't want to see further, you give the don't show the dialog box again. So click OK. So here you will get this particular dialog box and here you will get what are the variables you have saved in your data. So I assume all the participant opened this particular dialog box for understanding about the variable graph plotting, and these are the variable we entered in your data sheet: age, household, working data, working day, all the details are there. At the same time, you have the variable options of the plotting the graph: bar chart, line chart, area, pie chart, also scattered plot and all. So the simplest way of plotting the graph is whatever chart. Example, if you want to plot the pie chart, okay. So participant, hope you all are seeing the chart builder in your laptop. So once you enter the chart builder dialog box, I'm going to plot the graph, which is nothing but the pie chart for the gender. I want to show the percentage variations between the male and the female by using the pie chart. Below, you can able to see the gallery. In that gallery, pie chart option is there. If you are clicking the pie chart, it will show the sample of the pie chart. So you click that particular sample diagram and drag the diagram, move to the upper part. So directly this sample scenario, it will come here. Okay, so participant, go to the graph, chart builder options will be there. If you are clicking the chart builder, click OK, you can give, and it will leads to this dialog box. In this dialog box, below gallery will be there. If for a sample, I click the pie chart. So pie chart, the first sample pictures will be there. Click that pie chart sample, drag that particular diagram and move to the upper portion. So you are getting this kind of the plot you want to plot with respect to the gender. So in that particular things, what it is asking, variable. So what is the variable you want to provide? So the variable is nothing but your gender. So what you have to do, variables left side, the variable is the gender. Click the gender, drag the gender and put it inside. Once you moved your variable, then you can see the right side statistics with respect to what you want to define your pie chart. So here options are there, whether it is with respect to the count or the percentage or the value or sum. So whatever you want to define, you can give with respect to the give. Example, I am giving the percentage. Percentage, it is asking with respect to the various type with respect to the total or with respect to that particular sub classifications. Okay, so here our percentage is from the total, so you can give continue. In case if you want to with respect to the count, you can give count also, that option also it is available. So other than that, you have the chart options, basically what color you want to do. So whether if you want to default you want, or else you want to use any customized color and all. So that particular options are there in the chart appearance, and other options also there. It is similar to our Excel sheet only. We can change the things whatever you want in your custom manner. Also here options are there. If you want to change your title, what you want to give your title in the custom, if you are typing, you will get. Okay, so the group label, what do you want to order, or if you want to exclude any particular variable. So category, you might be having the gender, male, female, transgender, or others will be there. If you want to exclude male from your analysis, you can exclude that particular variable. So whatever, if you want to incorporate all the variables, then no need to do. So a lot of options are available. Okay, here. So now you can click OK. It will lead to your output. So this is the output if you are getting with respect to the pie chart, how the gender variations are happened. You can click, double click. So it will lead to the editing options. So in the editing option, the first options will be there, data label mode. If you are giving the data label mode, and if you are clicking, it will show what is the percentage. At the same time, if you are clicking the mail, it will show what is the percentage. And you simply close, and it will appear what is the label value. So now you can able to see female is 22.22% and male is 77.78%. So again, I'm repeating the participant. I assume all are following the steps in your laptop. So now we are going to discuss and study about the graphical representations as well as to identify the outlier sample together. And the option is mostly available in the graphs. In the graphs, you can go to the chart builder. In the chart builder, initial OK, you can give. It will leads to this kind of the dialog box. Chart builder dialog box is there. So you have the various type of the plot, bar chart, pie chart, area and all. Example I'm showing with respect to the pie chart. You click the pie chart, it will show this kind of the diagram. Again, you click that particular diagram and you drag that particular diagram and put it in the top empty space. So now you are going to plot the pie chart. Once you drag is over, which parameter you have to consider. So in case if I want to consider about the qualifications. So I'm dragging that particular variable and I'm putting in that particular area. So now we are going to plot the pie chart with respect to the qualification. Then if you are going again the right part, you have the different options, element properties, chart appearance and the options. So options and the chart appearance are similar to the Excel, and it is mostly for the modifying the appearance of your diagram. So I'm not much focused about that particular area. But when it is coming to the element properties, you have the different kind of the what we can say options. Example, statistics. If you are clicking the statistics, it will show the various options. Now I want to plot my pie chart with respect to the percentage. So I'm clicking the percentage. Then I want to give my title. So title default, it is taken as a pie chart percent of the qualification. But I want to change only qualification. So I'm giving the qualification. and this is the order of your data. In case if you want to, initially our data is UG, PG, PhD, but if you want to change our order also you can change. It will start with the PhD, PG and UG. In case if you want to eliminate any one parameters, that is also you can eliminate it. Okay, so that is also possible when it is coming to the modification. So once you define your input, you can click OK. It will lead to this kind of the output state. So qualifications, PhD, PG and UG. If you want to see what is the percentage distributions among all this, you double click that particular diagram. So I request all the participants, if you are getting this output chart, you double click particular chart, it will lead to the editing dialog box. So this is the editing dialog box. Here the whatever modifications if you want to do, you just do it. So all the things it's editing options only. If you are exploring, you will get a lot of idea. Okay. So here I want to show the percentage. So here the data label mode, you just click the data label mode and it is changed to the data label mode. And wherever you want to show your percentage, you just go and click 22.2%. Again, it is in the data label mode, you can click it. Again, it is in the data label mode, you can click it. Okay. So the color, border, all the options are also available. So whenever you're getting the free time, you just explore more about this particular things. So like that, you can plot for your graph in the histogram or the bar chart. Even if you want to plot the scatter plot also, you just plot it. So now again, I told that outlier test. So the basically outlier test is performing with respect to the box plot. So if you're plotting the box plot, then you come to know what will be the outlier sample of your particular test. So I request all the participants. Now you just click the box plot and you come to know different kind of the options are there with respect to the multi-variable. If you're dragging and putting, you come to know with respect to the what. If you want to check the outlier sample with respect to the dependent and the independent variable, then you have the different options. Or in a single variable, if you want to check with respect to the outlier sample, so that is also it is available. So with respect to the type which you want to perform or you want to identify the outlier sample with respect to the independence or the dependency. So according to that, you can choose your type of the plot. So this is the one option, the box plot. Example, if I'm giving the working day, and you can click OK. So this is the ranges of the box plot. So here, basically the box plot is the 100% distributions. The 100% distribution is divided into the 50-50. Actually, this plot again I will come here. It has the outlier sample. So I will explain with one proper example. Maybe I will choose household. So here also it is showing error. Maybe it is the randomly generated data. So that is the reason it is showing error. Yes. So this will be the one of the example. This is the box plot. So when it is coming to the box plot, the center line, it is showing the median value. Okay. From the center line above, it is showing the 50% and the below it is showing the 50% ranges. And the below 25, it is showing the box plot area top quartile. So upper limit as well as the lower limit will be there. From that, you will get the extension of the 25%. So totally below upper limit and the lower limit will be there. It is shared with respect to the 50-50 and the center line is considering as the median portions. From the median portions, the box plot is plotted with respect to the 25% upper, 20% is lower percentage variations. So when your data is not following that particular interval, that sample is considering as an outlier sample. So when it is coming to the age, one data is deviating from that particular interval. So one sample we can consider it indicated that outlier sample. So here it is showing a 3. Okay, third is the outlier sample. Let's go to the third cell and we can see what is the outlier for the age. So now I move to the my data. So in the data you can able to see 1, 2, 3. So this will be the third one. This manually you can see, or else you go to the uh, view, sorry, data. If you are short, okay, in the short options also it is available, or else you have to find, okay, or else the find options will be there. If you are going and if you are giving the third, it will directly, it will go where the issues is there. So here the third case is 48. Basically the age is considering as this data consisting of the younger age, like a 20, 24, 25, 30. So the maximum range is 30 and the minimum range is 20. The 48 is deviating for our particular analysis. That sample is considering as a outlier sample based on the outlier test. So that is the indications we can interpret it from your result, but still including and eliminating the data with respect to the logic what you are going to follow in your particular modeling aspect. Okay, so this is the one how the box plot is plotted. From that, the box plot is indicating which number of the cell is containing the outlier sample. For the age, cell number 3 has an outlier sample, and if you are moving to that your data entry, you can see the third one and the age is 48. So this is considering as a outlier sample. Now I'm moving back to the working day. So the working day, it is indicating 7 and 6 as a outlier sample. So upper limit in the sense it is showing the set is above the limit. Okay, this has a positive as well as the highest number. When it is coming to the lower limit, it is indicating 6 as a outlier sample. So now we will move to the 6 and the 7 and we will check what is that outlier value. So go to the working day. So this is in a working day, 6 and 7. Yes, when you are observing 700. So working day, it is asked with respect to the in a week. In a week, how many days you work. So most of the data and the respondent is responded 4, 5 and the 6. And it went to the 7 also. But 100 is outlier sample. Is it is not possible. In a week, 100 is not possible. Okay, so the 100 is considering as an outlier sample. We have to eliminate this particular data for the further analysis. As well as it indicating the 1 is considering as an outlier sample based on our analysis. Example, if you are going to your outlier test result, it is indicating 7 is outlier value and the cell 6 is also outlier sample. But when it is coming to the 7th cell, 100 is logic, we can accept, it is considering as an outlier sample and we can eliminate. But 1 is practically, it is possible. Okay, some people, very rare people might be going the working for only 1 day for the travel. So they might be working from home option also might be available for them. So that is the reasons they mentioned that 1. So still it is possible, practically it is justifiable. So in that particular cases, we are not eliminating this particular data for the further analysis. Okay, so that is the reasons we can including this particular sample. So this is the way we can interpret the result. So again I am repeating, dear participant, now we were discussed about the graphical representations of your data as well as how to identify the outlier sample before moving for the correlations analysis and the modeling analysis. So the graph options is there. Go to the graph options, click the chart builder, click OK. In the chart builder, you have the various options. So if you want to define the bar chart, you click the bar chart and you can track and you can use it. In case line chart or the area or the pie chart, scatter, histogram. So all the options are available when it is coming to the graphical representations. At the same time, when it is coming to the outlier sample, box plot is the most widely used method and easiest method to define the outlier sample. So there is a two way of defining the outlier sample with respect to your dependent variable, how the variations are there in your independent variable. In that case, you can choose the first step. In case if you have only one set of the variable analysis, if you want to identify how the variations are happening in that particular one set of the data, in that particular set of the data, you just click the single plot. Based on the single plot, you try to identify the what are the variable in the outlier sample. Then you move to that particular outlier data. Still, it is statistically it is valid and practically it is justifiable. Then you delete that particular cell for the further analysis. But still, some data statistically it is showing the outlier, but practically it is justifiable. That sample you just incorporate in your modeling aspect. So this is a two way you can incorporate or delete your outlier sample for the further analysis. So here what you have to do is it is a simple process. You select that particular type of the diagram and you drag and you just put it in the empty spaces and directly it will move. So here we were analyzed about the working day. You just click the working day and if you're putting in the axis, so it plotting with respect to the working day. And if you want to change your title axis and other option is like a normal our graphical representation only, you can change it according to that your outcome requirement. And if you are clicking, you will get in that particular output. So it leads to your output table. In that output table, it will show the in the output table, it will show the sample cell number. So in the working day, cell 7 is containing the outlier data. Cell 6 is containing the outlier data. So this kind of the interpretations, we can get it from your outlier diagram. So in case, if you want to plot 2 to 3 values together, in that particular cases, what you can do in the sense, you go to the same plot. So here, example the same things actually. If you want to study about with respect to the three variables, okay, together, in that particular cases, what you can do in the sense, you just to go to the histogram. Okay, in the histogram, the first type, if you want to select, you can select the first type, drag and put it in the analysis box. In case if you want to study about these three parameters, age, household, and the working day, you just drag and fill here. So it varies with respect to the index category labels. You click the OK, just to OK. And here display error bars also it will be there. Just to give the error bars and you can give your confidence interval 95% and you can click OK. So here you will get a simple plot. In a single diagram, you will get all the variations with respect to the age, with respect to the household, with respect to the working day, how the data variations are happened by considering all the data with respect to the mean of that all the dependent and all the independent variables. So this kind of the analysis you will get it. So the error bar is plotted with respect to the 95% confidence interval. So like that, whenever you are getting a time, I request all the participants, a lot of diagram, graphical representations options are available. So everything simply track and put it and you just play with whatever variable you want to make it the analysis, you just make it. And the right side, the element properties will be there. So with respect to the mean or with respect to the household mean, so whatever the analysis you want to perform with respect to the median or the minimum maximum mode. So this is options for the index analysis. So like that various analysis also there just to perform it together. So with respect to the exporting the data, the simplest way you just to copy paste it, or else you can export to the Excel format. Okay. So simply if you're copy and if you're going to your Excel, so you copied your diagram in your output box. Now I'm in the Excel sheet, and if you're giving the Control V, so directly it is pasted in your Excel sheet. So here also, if you want to edit, you can other index and the X value or the Y value, whatever the things, if you want to edit that, you can perform in the Excel also. So exporting the data, it is the simplest task when it is coming to the SPSS. So directly you can copy paste to your Excel, or else you just import your data and save it as a Excel format. So any doubt from the graphical representation? So now I will move to the another options. Okay, so far we have discussed about the analysis. In the analysis, we have discussed about the frequencies. We have a lot of options in the frequencies, but when it is coming to the descriptives, it has a very limited. When it is coming to the explore, in the explore with respect to the sub classifications of the particular variable, in the male, how the statistics are varied, in the female, how the statistics are varied. So those kind of the particular analysis we have performed. When it is coming to the cross tab also, you just what we can say the same. So two variables are there. Example, electric bike mode shift and your gender, how it is cross validated or how it is playing each other. So both has a sub classifications. With respect to the sub classifications, how the things are moving, so that we can check using the cross tab app. So this is the result we got it cross tab actually. So 2+2 classifications. Okay, two females are willing to shift and one male is willing to shift. So this kind of the interpretations we can get. At the same time, not shifting two female and not shifting 6 males are rated. So the participant, if you have the two set of the data, particularly two kind of the discrete data, and if you want to analyze the data with respect to the discrete value, so example, gender is a discrete data, it has a male and the female. At the same time, electric bike shift has a two classification, shifting, not shifting. With respect to the sub classifications, how the numbers are varied. So those kind of the micro level data, if you want to extract, you can use the cross tab option. So go to the analysis, go to the descriptive statistics, there cross tabs options is there. So this kind of the analysis we can perform only for the discrete variable, not for the continuous variable. So your data should follow the same matrix. So in the cross tab, you will get this kind of the dialog box. So here we want to study about the two categorical data. One is electric bike shift with respect to the gender. And you can click statistics. Here you have the statistics values also, like a chi-square value, correlations values, gamma values, Gendalas, C, B, kappa, risk also there. But our data is not require this kind of the analysis. That's what I'm not doing anything for the further analysis. I want to check only how the data are distributed with in the perspective of descriptive analysis. So in case if you want to study about the accident or the risky behavior or the injury type of the data, in that particular data you can go for the risky. Or in case if you want to do for the some reliability analysis, that time if you want to perform some other extra uncertainty things and all, you just select whatever the options is required for your analysis. So if you're clicking the same variable you will get. So basically it's saying the summary of the analysis, e-bike shifting behavior with the gender. Totally 9 samples are there. there is a no missing value. So that is the reasons here it is showing that 0 as a missing value. And the analysis, it is considered the total value 9, 100% samples are considered for the analysis. So this is the inference we can get it from the case processing summary. This case processing summary you will get for all the analysis. So irrespective of the model or the correlation test, descriptive statistics, everywhere you will get this case processing summary. It will show what is the valid data, what is the missing data, what will be the total data. So this kind of the data it will indicate for the all the analysis output. So next to the okay, cross tab is there. As I told that female and the male, shift and not shifting. So what is the percentage or the sorry, what is the number of the frequencies that distributed with respect to the sub classifications that we can observe from here. So everybody is getting the output of the cross tab analysis. So go to the analysis, descriptive, cross tab is there. Now I want to, with respect to the mode, how it is there. Car, Ola, buses. With respect to the male, female. Descriptive statistics, cross tab. In case if I want to study with respect to the state, qualification also. So 3 parameters if you want to study together with respect to the gender. Click OK. So you will get all the output. So first is with respect to the mode and gender. Second, state and gender. Third, qualifications and gender. So all the variables you will get together in a single output. So it is like a normal Excel only. In case if you want to shift your row to column, column to row also. So with respect while defining the data, you just change it. Okay, with respect in the inferences, it will be easy. So gender will be there in your left side, and with respect to the e-bike shift, how it is varied. Gender for the car, Ola, buses. Gender for Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra. With respect to the male and the female, UG classifications, PG qualifications, and the PhD qualifications. So I hope everybody is getting an output for the cross tab as well as your what we can say your changes the data, whether you want to inference with the row or the column. According to that, you can change your options also, input options. Okay, so now we will move to the next option. So basically what we can say in the sense of how your data is fitting with your dependent and the independent variables. So basically how we can do in the sense correlations we can perform, or else events if you want to identify some of the distributions, you can plot the probability distributions plot, okay, with respect to the percentile or with respect to the quantile. So you can plot the graph actually. So that is also one of the options which is already available in SPSS. So I hope most of them are aware of the PP plot and the QQ plot actually. So to check your data, so you can click whatever the data if you want to check. Example, age you can consider. Age if you want to check with respect to the normal distributions. So this is the QQ plot. Okay, so the QQ plot is plotted based on that your line, regressions line or the line, how your data is varying. if it is exactly fitting with your data for that normal distributions, so the variations won't be much. So, but here the huge, no, here there is a variations are there. So from the initial analysis for the initial understanding how your data is deviate from that particular distributions, that can be identified using your PP and QQ plot actually. Okay. So go to the analysis, their PP plot as well as the QQ plot will be there. So I'm giving the example age. Left side all the variables, input variable will be there, like normally whatever the variable you want to analyze, that variable you can transfer to your right side, and you have the options here like a normal, log normal, logistics, okay, student t uni, okay, uniform variable method. So whatever you want to choose with respect to your data you can select. Here I am giving us a normal distribution, and this is the probability plot you will get. So probability plot, you will get the 45-degree line. From the 45-degree line, how your data are deviated from the original data with respect to the probability estimations by considering the normal distributions that we can plot it. In case if your data is exactly fit with a normal distribution, so all the variations are happen near to that 45-degree line. So these are the variations from your distribution. So this kind of the distance can be estimated. So participant, so the next level we were moving actually in, so first we have studied about the descriptive. The one step above we are seeing how the your data is distributed with respect to that particular choice of the modeling distributions. So here it is available PP plot and the QQ plot actually. So whenever you are getting the time, you just explore the mathematical aspect of the both plot. Here analysis is there. In that analysis it's a simple descriptive statistic. If you are going here, the PP plot and the QQ plot is there. So there whatever the variable you want to analyze, you just to transfer that particular variable, even it is single variable or the multi variables, you just to transfer together. And what distributions you want to test is, you just to test is actually, and the it has a default formulations like a Bloom's, it take random, it is default. In case if you want to customize the formula, okay, you can customize, 4 options are available. So according to that you can customize your evaluations. So once you choose your distributions, if you are clicking the OK, so directly it will lead to your output table. So in the output table, you will get all the summaries with respect to the standard deviations, how the normal distributions variations are happen. With respect to the missing value also, it will indicate. But the simple understandings, how the variations are happen with respect to the 45-degree line, how it is deviate from the 45-degree line, so that can be estimated using that PP plot. So this is the one way of the analysis to understand how the actual data is deviate from the particular distributions for the understanding. Next, when it is coming to the analysis, the last options will be the ratio. So here ratio, if you are clicking the ratio options, so you might be having the various variable. If you want to study about the ratio between age and the household, so maybe age you can consider as a numerator and the household is considering as the denominator. And if you want to analyze this only age with respect to the household, ratio between the age and the household, you just click, and if you are clicking, you will get that output table. One step above, if you want to study with respect to that particular variable, example, if you want to study about the gender, how the ratios are happening, so that is also it is feasible. That group value is there. There you just track and put that which value you have to consider as a group variable. In this particular analysis, I'm considering gender as a group variable, and I'm clicking OK. So here you will get how the variations are happen. So the ratio is estimated age with respect to the household, and the female it is showing that 0.33 and the male it is showing as a 0.296. Generally COD value is considering for the reference, which is considering coefficients of dispersions, how the variations or the dispersions are happen when we are considering with respect to the ratio. So the higher values are indicating the higher dispersions or the variations when it is coming to the ratios value. So here the females are indicating the higher dispersions since it is the 0.33 when compared with the male 0.296. So the COD value also there and the COV value also there, that is with respect to the percentage. So where the higher percentage, that is showing that the higher variations. So females are having the higher variations 47% when we are talking about the ratios of the age with respect to the household size. So this kind of the ratio analysis and the interpretations we can make it by using the ratio statistic options. Okay. So participant, the next analysis part is ratio statistics. In the ratio statistics, we are going to study about the variations between the two variables, how the variations are happen. So if you want to study about that particular variations with respect to the two variable, that is one kind of the analysis. The second, you might be having the dependent variable as a discrete variable. Example, your dependent variable is male or the female or UG, PG on PhD qualifications. In that particular three sub classifications, how the ratios of that particular two variables are varying, that is also we can explore. So that is the way we can analyze the ratio statistics. Go to the analyze option. In that analyze option, the descriptive statistics, we can able to see the ratio. So click the ratio. There we have the classifications. First, you want to define the ratio between the X and Y. The X is nothing but your numerator age, X divided by Y is nothing but your household. So that is the denominator. Again, I told that in case if you want to explore the ratios with respect to that any dependent or the discrete variable, that you can make it as a group variable. So now I'm going to study with respect to the qualification. So you transfer the qualification and click OK. So it will lead to the ratio statistic. As I told that the initial of the all the analysis, you will get the case processing summary. What is the UGPG? What is the number of the count? Okay, what is overall included, excluded? If is there any missing value, so it will indicate the missing value also. So in the output of the ratio statistic analysis, you have the two major variables. One is COD, another one will be the COV. So maximum in the journal paper and you have to see the values COD and COV. So the COD is indicating the percentage, COD is indicating the variations in the ratio. The higher value is showing the higher dispersions. So here it is UG, it is showing the higher dispersions 0.35. Second, it leads to the PhD, and the third, it is the PG value. So this is the dispersions we can get it. The same interpretations we can get it from the COV value also. COV, the UG has the 51%, PhD has the 32%, and the PG has the 31%. So this is the outcome we are getting. From that, we try to rank the variable UG, PhD, PG with respect to the ratio statistics of age divided by the household. So this you can make it with respect to the whatever data you want to analyze for your research oriented analysis. So hope all the participants are getting the output of the ratio statistics. The next one will be the final part of today analysis is means. Okay. So if you want to compare the means between the two variables, as I told that the SPSS software is more 99%, it is giving the beneficial for this research related to the statistical study. If your research is more focused towards the statisticals, then you can explore the lot of statistical output from in your SPSS software. So the one variation is if you want to study about the means variations. Example, you just choose your mode as a dependent list and you can consider your gender as an independent list. How the means are varying, that you can explore it. So in the gender, the mean is 3, male is the mean is 1.7143. So this is the mean and the standard deviations with respect to the sub classifications, how it is varying, that we can analyze it. So now I have shown for the single variable. At the same time, you can analysis for the multivariable and what are the things we want to include in our outcome, that is also feasible. Maximum, minimum, variations. So whatever options if you want to do, you can do it. Example, the possible ANOVA table also it is possible. And I click continue and click OK. So it is starting with the case processing summary. So all the mode with respect to the gender, mode with respect to the age, mode with respect to the household, everything it is performed and all the data are included and excluded details you will get it. So the first it is showing the mean of the male and the female, as well as it is showing that the ANOVA result of that particular distributions. So many of the papers and the many of the research scholars mostly they used to perform the ANOVA test with respect to the your dependent and the independent variable, and your F value is satisfying with respect to the 95% confidence interval. So the value is more than 0.05. At the same time, your value is more than 2.556. So if it is more than that value, so it is satisfying the ANOVA. Next, you are getting with respect to the age. So age is it is a continuous variable. So that is the reasons it is distributed like that. At the same time, it has performed the ANOVA test, but it is not satisfied with respect to the 95% confidence interval. At the same time, household. So household, how the mean variations are happen with respect to your dependent variable. Also, it is not significant from your ANOVA table. So like that, all the variables you can get it, how the mean variations and the ANOVA outputs are happen. So that is you can get it from the single options. Okay. So the compare means mean itself options are there, or else you can use the one-way ANOVA test also. So the both outcomes are same. But if you're using the means, here you will analyze with respect to the extra what we can say statistics, like with respect to the mean, median, sum, okay, average. So all the options you can choose with respect to your requirement. Okay. So participants, so now we are analyzing the second stage analysis with respect to the independent and the dependent variable, how the variations are happened with respect to the various what we can say descriptive variable. For that particular things, we are going to the compare means. In that compare means, you can use the means options, which has almost all the options. There you can give what kind of the dependent variable you have to choose. So example, electric bike shifting or not shifting might be your independent variable. So participant, go to the analysis, compare means. So in the means, the first options means will be there. If you are clicking the means, you will get means dialog box. In the dialog box in the left side, all your variable will be there. In that list, you choose what is your dependent variable and you transfer to the right side. And if you're considering all the variable as an independent variable, you select all, control A, it will get select all, then the arrow mark, you can click it, it will go to the independent variables. Then you have an options. So in that options, what are the statistics you need as an output that you can transfer to left side to the right side. So I need only this kind of the statistics. So I have clicked. Initially, when you are clicking, the ANOVA and the test for linearity is disabled, and I want to perform the ANOVA test to check the correlations. So that is the reasons I am clicking the ANOVA table and the eta value. Then I'm clicking the continue. Then you can click OK. Then it will lead to the your output table. In that output table, you will get three kind of the outputs. One is the case processing summary, which we already discussed many times. So it is just to summarize your input data and the missing data. The second is showing that descriptive variations with respect to the dependent variable. So example, in electric bike shifting with respect to the age, but age is a continuous variable, so that is the variations you are getting here. But when it is coming to the okay, any gender, okay, it is a discrete variable. When it is coming to the gender, how the means variations are happen with respect to the female and the male, that variations are there, and the minimum maximum, okay, and the variations skewness if you want to k value and the ks value. So everything you will get in as a single report, that is a second report. The third and the final one will be the your ANOVA test result. So analysis of variations. So how your dependence between the independent and the variable with respect to your f value, how it is varied, that we are analyzing when it is coming to the ANOVA table. So here the f value will be there. With respect to the f value, we can tell that whether your gender is significantly influencing to the dependent variable, which is nothing but the shifting of the electric bike, yes or no. So those kind of the interpretations we can get it from this particular analysis. So this is the applications of the analysis of compare means. Okay, in case if you want to choose example, in case if you want to choose one way ANOVA test also, it is feasible. Example, our dependent variable is shifting the electric bike or not, and if you want to perform with respect to the gender, okay, transfer the gender, and here also various options are available with respect to the polynomial, and you just change the linear or some other. But basically it is taking the one way ANOVA, it is the default 95-degree percentile it will take, and you can click OK. So here you will get an ANOVA values, whether it is significant, associated significant or the not significant. Your F value is showing that it is a significant result. So like that you can interpret it. So participant, in case if you want to perform analysis, ANOVA test, analysis of variations, analysis in your data, you go to the analysis options. In the compare means is the one options you can perform with respect to the various variations in the descriptive statistics, in the sub classifications, as well as you can perform the ANOVA test with respect to the eta value. In case if you want to perform only the one-way ANOVA analysis, you have the one-way ANOVA options here, and click one-way ANOVA. In the one-way ANOVA, you have the dependent list. So dependent variable, you just should drag it over there, and independent, what is that categorical variable you want to analyze, that variable you can transfer as a factor. When it is coming to the ANOVA, again I'm repeating that in the mathematical aspect, the matrix should be match each other between the dependent as well as the independent. Once you transfer the data, if you are clicking the OK, and you will get an output of your ANOVA table. So participant all are getting the output of ANOVA test or the variations of the means options. So far what we have discussed, it is in a first part, okay, whether irrespective of your modeling or the thesis or the journal or the whatever analysis you want to perform it. Yesterday I have instructed that there is a two kind of the classifications we can do it. One is with respect to the data collections, data extractions, okay, and the data analysis, and confirming that the data is perfect for the develop the model. So this is the first stage. The second stage will be the correlations and identifying the significant factor, developing the model, performing the validations and the sensitivity analysis. From there, we are telling that our model is predicting for the future scenarios in a good, very good, excellent, or poor also. So two categories are there. And so far we have discussed in the micro level how the step or the stages one we can do it. So the data the data has been assumed the Excel sheet. Okay, so in our demo we randomly generated some data in the Excel sheet and we have transferred, and the main important thing, we have checked any errors are there in the data. So the errors is analyzed in the two part. One is with respect to the missing data, another one is with respect to the outlier data. So when it is coming to the missing data, while you are performing the analysis, okay, descriptive analysis, it's showing that missing values. To identify that missing value, you are performing the sort variable. From that you are identifying the missing and you are filling and you are making an accuracy of your data. Second, you are performing the outlier plot. So in that outlier plot we went to the graph and we have performed the box plot test. From that you identified which cell is containing that outlier sample, and it is recommended to delete that particular data before model development. So this is the first steps we have to perform when it is coming to your mathematical model development. The second steps, you have to do the various descriptive analysis. Example, in the descriptive analysis, the frequency itself more than sufficient. There you will get all the options. What is the mean, median, standard deviations, variations. So all the options you will get for the all the variables. Also, when if you want to study about the sub classifications, example, one variable has a sub classifications, gender as a male and the female. In that particular analysis under, you can perform with respect to the explore and the cross tab. So using these two things, you can perform the cross validations or you can perform the cross classifications, and you identify what is the frequency and what is the descriptive changes are there. That is the another set of the analysis. Then the ratios, this is some studies, some journal or some research is required to study about the ratios analysis between the variables, multivariables. In that conditions, the ratios options you can utilize it. And the final one will be the how your data is deviate from that particular distributions. So whatever the model you want to develop, the initial set of the analysis is nothing but your normal distributions. For that normal distributions analysis or other distributions, PP plot and the QQ plots are there. So most probably you try to use the probability plot, PP plot. So from the 45-degree line, how the deviations are happened. So those kind of the analysis, you will get it from the graphical representations. So once the descriptive analysis over, you go for the compare means. In the means, you just to try to identify how the one-way ANOVA test giving the F value, how the dependent and the independents are correlated each other with respect to the 95% of the confidence interval. So those kind of the analysis you can perform. So far we have discussed about this all the analysis. The afternoon we are moving to the second stage analysis. It is a very simple, only the correlations how we are going to making and how the linear regressions as well as the binary logic model is we are going to develop using the SPSS software. So that we will see in the evening session. Okay. So for developing model, so whatever the data today morning session and the yesterday evening sessions we have utilized, that is a random data. So we won't get an accurate result. For that purpose, we have already doing some kind of the research with respect to the electric bike shifting mode. So I will circulate that a questionnaire form. So I request all the participants to fill that questionnaire form, and at that filled form, I will convert to the Excel sheet. That Excel data I will circulate to the all the participants. That data we can use for the afternoon session for the modeling your regressions model. Okay. So I request all the participants to fill the questionnaire form, which will be circulated by your organizer, STTP organizer. So using that particular data, I will go to that particular data. I will convert that data in the Excel sheet for the modeling aspect. Using that particular data, we will develop the correlations test as well as the modeling of your correlation test. Okay. So any doubt from the today's sessions? So when it is coming to the working style, and I'm sure that the working style is definitely it is very easy. So only the clear objective is required. So what particular output you require. So how to perform that analysis. The performing the analysis is a very simple task. Once you performed the analysis, you will get a very huge amount of the output. From that output, how to identify the significant inferences. So that will be the biggest task in your SPSS analysis. uh, Dr. Girish, I shared that link in your WhatsApp. So if it is
Yes,
possible,
yes,
you can post
yes,
that in
yes.
the chat box as well as inform the participant to fill that. So once I received the required number of the data, I will prepare that Excel data sheet and I will please you can circulate all the participants. Then afternoon onwards, we will see the last portion of the modeling as well as the correlation test analysis.
Yes, sir. There is a one question in the chat box. Are you able to see?
Okay.
Yeah.
It is in the chat box. Is it necessary to validate the data between the observed and the expected in the PP plot? No, it is just an observation. So if you want to perform the before modeling aspect, so validation is then not mandatory in the stage 1 process.
Yeah, that's okay. I had posted the Google form in the chat box. I request all the participants to kindly fill that so that it will be useful for the afternoon session. So thank you,
Yes.
sir. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll
So
meet in the
yeah.
afternoon session
Yes.
by
Yes,
4
Dr.
p.m.
Yeah, yes, 4 p.m. And I request the participant kindly fill the form. When you're filling that form, you will get some an idea if you are reading. So in the afternoon sessions, I will quickly tell that data. So instead of spending much more time, so if I'm telling the very quickly, that will save the time in case if you are filling that questionnaire form. So basically, what we are doing in the afternoon session, in the sense, we are going to develop two kind of the model. One is the modeling for continuous variable. Your data might be the continuous variable. Example, so number of the trips or the speed, okay, or the frequency. So when it is coming to the continuous variable, how we are going to develop the model, that we are going to estimate it. Second will be the binary logic model. So it is a discrete variable, yes or no. So when it is coming to this Google form, you are shifting to the electric bike or not. So it is a discrete data, yes or no. So to predict that why, how we are performing that binary logic model, that we can see as a second aspect. So this is the two model we are going to develop. So if you are filling and getting the sum based on that questionnaire, then it is easy to understand the model interpretations inferences in the future scenario. Okay. So for the better clarity and the time saving, again, I request the participant to fill the data. Okay. So, okay, Dr. Girish, then we
Yes,
will
sir.
see in the afternoon session, 4 o'clock. And thanks the participant.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you, sir, for your nice presentation. I'll
Okay.
meet you in the afternoon session. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll open for a session for a while to make this Google form filled. I request all the participants to fill the Google form so that it will be useful for the afternoon session. Yeah, it is right form only because they are doing that survey. That is a research work. That work they show as a real example, real time example to this SPSS. That's why we are asking you to fill the questionnaire form. It will be converted and it will be used in the afternoon session. Yeah. So I hope feedback link will be given in afternoon session since it is 2 days continuous hands-on experience. We have one common feedback link which will be given in the noon session. So I once again thank all the participants for your kind attention and participation. Towards the morning session, I would like to request to attend again the noon session at 4 p.m. sharp. I hope that the sent Google form is filled by you. If at all no, please kindly go through the questionnaire survey and try to give your survey. That help us to create a Excel sheet which can be used for doing some exercise in the noon session. People who have already filled can leave the session and can carry on. No, there is no rule at all. You can go ahead. Whatever you are able to comfortably fill the form, that you can fill that. There is some star marks where you have to give that compulsory. That you can give. Rest of the things, whatever you are experiencing, you can give. So I think that is okay with this morning session. I once again thank each and every faculty and professor who are attending this AICTE sponsored program. I'd like to request to come back again in the afternoon session to have that hands-on experience leftover session. Thank you. Right. We'll see that at 4 p.m.